Welcome back, folks, to the random video blog where every single Friday I, Graham G.S. Matthews, run down my rambling wrestling thoughts, share a few stories, etc., etc. And here today on the 1-year anniversary, when I attended the NXT Lowell live event here in Massachusetts, I bring you my review of NXT's Greatest Matches Volume 1 DVD. Came out about February 2016, early last year. Why it took me so long to do a review of it, I don't really know. I've watched it like 3 times. I watched it about a couple months ago before I went to NXT TakeOver Orlando. But at any rate, like I said, I wanted to do it today, if only because it was fitting. I was at NXT Live about a year ago, exactly a year ago today. Just a fucking phenomenal show. The same night where Samoa Joe beat Finn Balor for the NXT Championship in shocking fashion. We got to see Andrade Cien Almas before he made his television debut. We got to see Tommaso Ciampa versus Biff Busick, a.k.a. Christopher Gerrard, a.k.a. Oney Larkin. Just a really, really fun night. We got to see Revival against American Alpha for the NXT Tag Team titles. Alexa Bliss challenging Asuka for the NXT Women's Championship. A really, really good show. But at any rate, this video blog is all about the NXT DVD, which you can get out now. It's available now, obviously. Came out about a year and a half ago. Quite honestly, one of the greatest wrestling DVDs that I own. I mean, other than like the documentaries, there's a lot of great documentaries out there, which I've written reviews for my website, nextwrestling.net. I've talked about them here and there on the video blog and hashtag AskGSM, stuff like that. But this one isn't really more so a documentary. Obviously, it's more of a compilation of great matches. But in between each match, you get kind of a bit of a background of the early goings of NXT, the early beginnings when it was still FCW in a developmental territory, and it still is, obviously, to an extent today, but what it's really evolved into in the past 5 years. And I think this June marks 5 years since NXT became what it is today, being taped at a Full Sail University. So another reason to kind of pick up this DVD. I know they just came out with a book, chronologing, I don't know, that's not the right word, but you know what I'm saying, kind of backtracking NXT's history. I can't pronounce the word for the life of me. Dating back to its early days as FCW to what it is today, when it was the competition show. Thankfully, no matches from that competition show are on this DVD. This only goes back to when it first started in June of 2002. So just take a good look at the cover there. Pretty sweet cover. You got Neville, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Big E, Sami Zayn. And then you have Paige, Bayley, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch. All the women played a huge role in the success of NXT over the past 5 years. So, again, you get great interviews from Becky Lynch, from Kevin Owens, from Sami Zayn. A lot of people who helped make NXT, like I said, what it is today, Triple H especially. So definitely check it out for those brief interviews alone in between each one, talking about the women and how NXT really kind of started out, why they didn't think it would work, and where the transition was made from competition show to developmental territory, the revival, or rather arrival of NXT on the WWE Network, the takeover specials, going to Brooklyn, so on and so forth. But anyway, so here are the list of matches for the DVD. Again, I cannot recommend this DVD enough. It has a lot of great fucking matches. I mean, now they're all on the network, these early ones, and this is not the Blu-ray, by the way. I know the Blu-ray has a couple more matches that aren't on this one. But still, if you get the DVD version, it's still just as good. But anyway, for the matches, you have Big E versus, or even before that, you have Seth Rollins versus Jinder Mahal, who is now the #1 contender to the WWE Championship, believe it or not, to crown the inaugural NXT champion from August of 2012. Pretty good match, a pretty good Rollins match. It's funny, too, because in that match, obviously, Rollins wins, spoiler alert, but he uses the curb stomp. But because this came out after they banned the move, they cut away from him hitting the move and show a shot of the crowd, and then they just show him pinning Jinder Mahal, which is so fucking stupid. It's a DVD, but it is what it is. It's not like you're going to go back and edit the footage from the network of him hitting the finisher in other matches, but anyway, so pretty good match there. After that, you get a match, a no disqualification match, with Big E beating Seth Rollins for the NXT Championship in January of 2013. Chris Jericho's NXT debut against Bray Wyatt ahead of their feud in 2014. This was for May of 2013. You had for the NXT Women's Championship to crown the inaugural NXT Women's Champion, Paige versus Emma. Great match. Again, all these are now on the network with all the old NXT episodes being uploaded, but still, they're pretty great. One of my favorite matches in NXT history, let alone on this DVD, Sami Zayn versus Antonio Cesaro, 2 out of 3 count falls match. I remember watching that for the first time 4 years ago and fucking loved it. I can't wait to watch it again. But every time I watch it on this DVD, it just blows me away. It's so great. After that, William Regal, who was before he became the NXT general manager, taking on Antonio Cesaro on the Christmas episode of NXT from 2013. Regal's final match to date, by the way, in WWE, and it probably will be his final match ever, considering he just had neck surgery a couple of years ago. NXT Arrival, Bo Dallas versus Adrian Neville in a ladder match, the NXT Championship. Charlotte versus Natalya to crown a new NXT Women's Champion in the first ever TakeOver show after Arrival, obviously. Tyler Breeze, gorgeous music video from when he was repackaged in the summer of 2014. Sami Zayn versus Tyson Kidd on Sami Zayn's Road to Redemption in October of 2014 on an episode of NXT. Adrian Neville versus Sami Zayn in one of my favorite NXT matches ever from December of 2014 at NXT TakeOver All Revolution for the NXT title. You have from NXT TakeOver Rival a fatal four-way match for the NXT Women's Championship, another phenomenally underrated match between Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Bayley. From that same show, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens for the NXT Championship in the main event in February of 2015. You get a shot. This is a match you can't find anywhere else. I'm sure on like Vimeo or something, Daily Motion or whatever. But from the Arnold Classic when NXT first toured in early 2015, like I know they tour all the time now, but one of their first tours outside of Florida was to the Arnold Classic in March of 2015. And they did Adrian Neville versus Cesaro. Great fucking match. The crowd is a bit muted. It's weird because there's no commentary and or the ring isn't mic'd all that well, but it's still a great match, and you got to turn up the volume a little bit. It's still a phenomenal match. I mean, as you can imagine, it's Neville versus Cesaro. After that, another match you can't find anywhere else, but it was taped at the NXT live show right before WrestleMania 31 in San Jose, California, where it was Hideo Itami versus Tyler Breeze. Great match. And it's only one camera, so it's like just the steady cam. There's no other camera, so you just get the match from one point of view. And it's the match where Hideo Itami hit his first ever GTS in NXT. So I'm pretty cool. I'm pretty glad that was included in the DVD because it was a pretty cool moment. After that, you have Enzo Amore, kind of a random match, but Enzo, Big Cass, and Carmella versus Blake Murphy and Alexa Bliss from a summer of 2015 episode of NXT. From the Beast in the East special, Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor for the NXT Championship, exceptional match. After that, from the NXT TakeOver Brooklyn special in August of 2015, one of, if not my favorite NXT match of all time, Sasha Banks versus Bayley. I was there for the NXT Women's Championship. And after that, you have NXT TakeOver Respect, Finn Balor and Samoa Joe versus Baron Corbin and Rhino in the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, the first ever Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. So another great match as well from October of 2015. So that's the match lineup for NXT's Greatest Matches Volume 1 DVD. Just overall, it's a phenomenal DVD. Like I said, I watched it 3 times. When I bought it, in March of 2016. I watched it back again with RJ a few months after that, right before I graduated about a year ago. And I watched it back again on spring break this year, just 2 months, or just last month rather. It feels like it was a lot longer ago. But yeah, check it out. I'm sure you can get it anywhere. I got it like literally the week that it came out, and I still got it for $20 at FYE. And I'm sure it's a lot cheaper now that it's been out for a year, but at the same time, even though most of these matches are now up on the network, some of these aren't. And it's still great to kind of get some insight where NXT started, how it's evolved, and where it's going in the future. And I can't wait. Like I said, it says Volume 1 here at the bottom. So hopefully they'll come out with Volume 2 at some point. And this only goes up to October of 2015. So think about all the other great matches we've gotten in the past year and a half. Revival and DIY. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn. The Nakamura-Samoa Joe matches. Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura. Like all these other great matches we've gotten in the past year and a half. I can't wait to see on this DVD at some point down the line in Volume 2. So hopefully they hold off for a couple of years. It's a bit too soon to go back to this. It's only been a year and a half. But still, check it out on the network. Like I said, the 1-year anniversary of when I was at NXT Live in Lowell, Massachusetts. You can check out the photos from that show and my full review of that show from exactly 1 year ago today on my website at nextairwrestling.net. So that's my review, guys. 2 thumbs up. Check it out. Awesome fucking DVD. And I'll be back next week, I believe, on the eve, or rather the eve of Payback next Sunday. And on that video blog, I'll probably be going down my top 5 favorite Payback matches dating back to 2013. So that being said, guys, be sure to follow me on the Twitter machine at WrestleRant. Find me on Facebook at facebook.com/GrahamDigestion.Matthews. Be sure to like this video, drop a comment, share the video, and above all else, subscribe to the channel for daily content going up, as I said, every single day. So I appreciate your support. Be well, guys. Enjoy the weekend. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.